Ning, this article contains Cain and Moira Dingle spoilers from tonight's episode of Emmerdale. The episode hasn't yet aired on TV, but is already available to watch on ITVX and YouTube. It's been a difficult time for Cain and Moira in Emmerdale, with the couple facing more than their fair share of heartbreak in recent months. And in tonight's emotional episode, viewers finally saw the pair come face to face in a powerful moment that has already left fans talking. The past few weeks have seen some viewers suggesting the ITV soap had lost a bit of its spark following the Corriedale crossover. But if early reactions are anything to go by, tonight's episode has reminded fans exactly what Emmerdale can do when it focuses on its most beloved characters. In tonight's episode, March 9th, Cain Dingle travelled to the prison to visit Moira Dingle. And as soon as he arrived, it became clear he knew he could no longer keep the truth from her. The first half of the episode followed Cain as the pressure of everything happening around him continued to build. After Belle Dingle confronted him about dragging Sarah into the car theft scheme, Cain was left clearly shaken and emotional. But after a worrying moment and some words of advice from Liam Kavanagh, Cain realised the time had come to finally be honest. What followed was a striking creative decision from the soap. The second half of the episode focused entirely on Cain and Moira sitting together in the prison visiting room. There were no dramatic cutaways to other villagers and no switching between storylines. For the final 12 minutes, the episode stayed with them alone, and the impact was powerful. During the raw conversation, Cain finally admitted that he has cancer and that he has known about it for some time. Moira was left utterly devastated by the revelation, but she quickly urged Cain to tell the rest of his family the truth, including the boys. However, the shocks didn't end there. Cain also revealed that Joe Tate has been blackmailing him over the farm. While Cain insisted he wouldn't give it up, Moira made it clear that his health should come first. The emotional exchange has clearly struck a chord with viewers who have already watched the episode early on ITVX, with many taking to Reddit and X to share their reactions. It had previously been revealed that tonight's installment would include the longest ever scene shared by actors Jeff Hordley and Natalie J. Robb. Judging by the early fan response, it certainly delivered. One viewer wrote on Reddit, "Just watched tonight's episode and thought the Cain and Moira scene was absolutely incredible. Like, I was genuinely in tears." Another added, "They're both incredibly talented. Excellent episode. So good. That's why they are the best characters and couple on the show. What a scene," a third penned. Another wrote on X, "Today's episode is so well done. Cain and Moira are amazing. What an incredible scene between two of the best. An absolute acting masterclass from Natalie Robb and Jeff Hordley. This is why I love Moira," an emotional fan added. One fan even pointed out how different the episode felt compared to recent ones. They commented, "I have struggled watching the show lately as the episodes have just been boring. But tonight's was in a completely different league. I hope it stays like this." For fans of Emmerdale, tonight's episode was a reminder of why the soap remains one of Britain's most enduring and beloved dramas. With the spotlight squarely on Cain and Moira Dingle, the episode took a daring narrative risk, delivering an emotional intensity rarely seen in recent weeks. The installment, available early on ITVX and YouTube before its linear broadcast, has already sent shockwaves through the fanbase, and it's clear from early reactions that this is one of those episodes viewers will remember for years. The build-up, a turbulent few weeks for the Dingles. In recent months, Cain and Moira have faced more than their fair share of hardship. Moira's imprisonment, resulting from being framed for double murder and human trafficking, has kept her away from the village, leaving Cain to manage Butler's farm largely on his own. The stress of keeping the farm running, compounded by Joe Tate's repeated attempts to seize control, has left Cain under immense pressure. Meanwhile, Cain's health has been another looming concern. Diagnosed with aggressive prostate cancer, he has carried the burden silently, sharing the news only with a select few. His granddaughter Sarah Sugden, GP and friend Liam Kavanagh, and the unexpected ally Graham Foster. Even Moira, his wife of many years, had been kept in the dark until tonight's episode. For weeks, fans have been speculating how and when Cain would finally reveal the truth. Would he continue to shoulder the burden alone, or would he reach a breaking point? Tonight, the show answered that question with a deeply emotional, carefully constructed episode that emphasized character over spectacle. Cain's journey, the first half of the episode. The first half of the episode focused on Cain navigating his increasingly precarious life in the village. The writers made a deliberate choice to portray him almost entirely in isolation, highlighting the immense pressure weighing on him. One of the early scenes depicted a confrontation between Cain and Belle Dingle. She confronted him about dragging her sister, Sarah, into a car theft scheme. A subplot that underscored how Cain's attempts to shield loved ones from danger often have unintended consequences. Belle's frustration and Cain's emotional responses made for a poignant moment, demonstrating the ripple effect of Cain's decisions across the Dingle family. Later, Cain found himself alone in the pub, where the weight of his secrets became almost unbearable. A brief but striking moment occurs when he notices blood in the toilet bowl, sparking genuine fear for his health. Although it turned out to be a urinary tract infection, the incident was symbolic. Cain's body and mind were both sending him urgent warnings, underscoring the necessity of confronting reality. It was during this first half that Cain sought guidance from Liam Kavanagh. The doctor's advice, to finally be honest with Moira and their family, served as a turning point. Cain realized that no amount of avoidance could shield either himself or those he loves from the truth. The creative decision, an entire episode on Cain and Moira. What followed was an unusually bold move by Emmerdale. For the second half of the episode, the show focused entirely on Cain and Moira, with no dramatic cutaways to other villagers, no switching between storylines, and no distraction from their narrative. The creative team allowed the scene to unfold in real time, dedicating a full 12 minutes to the emotional exchange between Jeff Hordley and Natalie J. Robb. This was a daring storytelling choice. In an era when soap episodes often juggle multiple storylines to maintain pace and appeal to a wide audience, dedicating half an hour, or more including build-up, to a single two-hander is rare. Yet, the risk paid off spectacularly. The prison visiting room became the entire world for Cain and Moira. Every glance, every pause, and every gesture was given weight. The cinematography emphasized their isolation and vulnerability, using the prison's glass divider as both a literal and symbolic barrier between the couple. The emotional revelation, Cain's cancer diagnosis. For the first time on screen, Cain admitted the full extent of his illness. Moira had been led to believe that his cancer was under control, with doctors merely monitoring the situation. The truth was far graver. Cain's aggressive prostate cancer required urgent treatment, including a radical prostatectomy and radiotherapy. The emotional resonance of this revelation cannot be overstated. Moira, upon hearing the news, was utterly devastated. She instinctively reached to comfort Cain, but was reminded of the prison's rules. Their contact limited, their space constrained. The acting performances from Hordley and Robb were widely praised for their subtlety and authenticity. Small gestures, a hand brushing a tear, a slight bow of the head, a strained pause, carried immense narrative weight. Moira's response was multifaceted. While heartbroken, she immediately prioritized Cain's well-being over the farm and other worries. Her insistence that Cain share the truth with their sons, Kyle and Isaac, reflected the Dingle family's enduring ethos. Honesty and support, even in the face of devastating news. Joe Tate's threats and the farm's future. Adding another layer to the episode's tension was Joe Tate's continued attempts to seize Butler's farm. Cain revealed to Moira that Joe had been using blackmail tactics to try to coerce him into giving up the farm. Despite the mounting pressure, Cain expressed determination to hold on to their home and livelihood. Moira, however, made it clear that Cain's health must take precedence. She reminded him that no property or financial concern could outweigh the importance of treatment and recovery. The combination of personal, familial, and financial stakes created a deeply layered narrative that grounded the episode in both realism and drama. Fan reactions, social media buzz. The episode's impact was evident almost immediately. Fans who accessed the early ITVX release shared their reactions on Reddit, X, formerly Twitter, and various soap forums. Many praised the episode's focus, its raw emotion, and the powerful performances of Hordley and Robb. Some early fan comments included, "Just watched tonight's episode, and thought the Cain and Moira scene was absolutely incredible. Like, I was genuinely in tears. They're both incredibly talented. Excellent episode. So good. That's why they are the best characters and couple on the show. What a scene. Today's episode is so well done. Cain and Moira are amazing. What an incredible scene between two of the best. An absolute acting masterclass from Natalie Robb and Jeff Hordley. This is why I love Moira. I have struggled watching the show lately as the episodes have just been boring. But tonight's was in a completely different league. I hope it stays like this." The overwhelmingly positive reaction highlighted a broader truth about Emmerdale. Viewers respond most strongly when episodes prioritize its most beloved characters and allow their stories to breathe. A return to core storytelling. This episode serves as a reminder of the power of core character-driven storytelling. After weeks of multi-plot episodes, special crossovers, and faster-paced narratives, tonight's installment took the time to focus on the Dingle family's emotional core. The two-hander between Cain and Moira also underscored how Emmerdale continues to balance realism with drama. Cancer, family stress, and financial pressure are serious, everyday issues, yet the show delivers them with the heightened emotion and pacing that makes soap opera compelling. By dedicating time to explore the psychological and emotional dimensions of these characters, the episode reminds audiences why they invest in long-term stories. Cain and Moira are not just dramatic figures. They are people grappling with crises in ways viewers can empathize with. Acting brilliance. Hordley and Rob shine. The success of tonight's episode rests largely on the performances of Jeff Hordley and Natalie J. Robb. By focusing on just two characters for a substantial portion of the episode, the actors were able to deliver subtle, nuanced performances. Hordley's portrayal of Cain's vulnerability, internal struggle, and eventual courage in revealing the truth balanced perfectly with Rob's reaction. A mixture of heartbreak, resilience, and determination. The emotional stakes were conveyed not only through dialogue, but through every glance, gesture, and pause. Fans and critics alike have praised the acting masterclass delivered in this episode. It serves as a reminder of the importance of casting and the depth of experience that long-running soap actors bring to their roles. Narrative impact, setting up future storylines. Tonight's episode also sets up multiple potential storylines for the coming weeks. Family reactions. How will Kyle and Isaac react to Cain's full cancer diagnosis? Will the Dingle family unite to support him, or will tensions emerge under the strain? Farm tensions. Joe Tate's continued machinations to acquire Butler's farm are likely to escalate, now that Cain has revealed the stress and vulnerability he has been experiencing. Medical journey. Cain's aggressive prostate cancer requires urgent treatment. The storyline may explore his decision-making, treatment struggles, and the impact on family life. Moira's role. With Moira aware of the full situation, she may take a more active role in both supporting Cain and protecting the farm, potentially reaching out to allies or negotiating with adversaries. The episode acts as a turning point, shifting Cain from a character trying to protect everyone by holding back information to someone embracing honesty, vulnerability, and reliance on family. Why this episode resonates. Several elements make tonight's episode resonate so strongly with viewers. Focused storytelling. By centering on Cain and Moira, the episode allows their emotional arc to unfold fully without distraction. Real-life relevance. Cancer, family stress, and financial pressure are relatable, lending the narrative authenticity. Performance depth. Hordley and Rob's nuanced performances bring credibility and emotional weight. High stakes. Both personal and financial stakes create a layered narrative that keeps viewers invested. Fan investment. Long-term viewers are rewarded with a character-driven, high-emotion story that pays off years of engagement. The episode demonstrates that when soap operas slow down to let their characters breathe, the emotional payoff can be enormous. Fan community reactions. A cultural touchstone. Social media reactions reveal that Emmerdale viewers are highly engaged, especially when episodes focus on the Dingle family. Threads on Reddit and X show fans dissecting every moment, from Cain's hesitation to Moira's compassionate but firm responses. Some fans have even drawn parallels to classic soap moments, noting that these real-time emotional experiences are what makes soaps a cultural touchstone. One fan summed it up. Tonight reminded me why I've watched this show for decades. The emotional depth, the acting, the pacing, perfect. This is why soap operas matter. Technical achievements. How the episode worked cinematically. The decision to focus on a single location, the prison visiting room, allowed the directors and cinematographers to experiment with mood, lighting, and camera work. Soft shadows, careful framing, and close-up shots emphasized intimacy, while the glass divider acted as both a physical and symbolic barrier, enhancing the emotional tension. The pacing of dialogue, the deliberate pauses, and the intercutting with small reaction shots of Cain's subtle gestures made the episode feel immersive, almost theatrical. In many ways, it blurred the line between soap opera and drama, delivering a cinematic experience in a 30-minute slot. Conclusion. A standout episode in modern Emmerdale. Tonight's Emmerdale episode is already being hailed as a benchmark for what the show can achieve when it focuses on its core characters and themes. The combination of emotional storytelling, nuanced performances, and careful cinematic choices created a memorable, impactful experience. Cain and Moira's journey from secrecy to honesty, from fear to courage, serves as a reminder of the show's enduring power. Fans have responded with enthusiasm and awe, signaling that Emmerdale still has the capacity to deliver storytelling that resonates deeply, even amid years of ongoing drama. With the emotional revelations of Cain's cancer, Joe Tate's blackmail, and Moira's steadfast support, viewers are left eagerly anticipating the next chapters in the Dingle family saga. For now, though, tonight's episode stands as a testament to the show's ability to marry heart, drama, and character in a way that keeps audiences coming back.